Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. Big updates, NYDIG, that name I told you all to really pay attention to watch closely. Well, they just released a major service. They're going to allow publicly traded companies to auto-convert their employee salaries to crypto. Wow. I want to break this down. We also have big news around Russia and India as relates to crypto regulations. Some very bullish moves that are taking place. Michael Saylor and the MicroStrategy company, they have bought the dip once again. And there's some huge updates around the SEC Ripple XRP lawsuit. Remember Empower Oversight? Well, they're back at it, putting more pressure on the SEC. And the Wall Street Journal actually covered the SEC lawsuit. So more pressure coming on the SEC, more bad PR. This is all great news. And there's a lot more crypto adoption news that I want to break down for you guys as well. So before we get to it, guys, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. This content is brought to you by two sponsors. First is Algorand, which is building the future of finance. Algorand is one of the leading blockchain projects in the crypto industry. They're getting significant adoption and investments. Both Michael Arrington's and Anthony Scaramucci's hedge funds are invested in Algorand. So if you would like to learn more, please visit algorand.com. And also by TaxBit, which is a great solution to calculate your crypto trades, buying and selling, your capital gains and capital losses. It really helps you to calculate it very easily. This is a service I personally use. I've been using it to generate the respective forms, and then I give it to my accountant. So TaxBit makes it so easy. I connect my exchanges, it pulls the data in, it calculates everything, and it spits out the forms. So easy. So highly recommend this service, guys. Once again, I am a user of it, and tax season is coming up. So be sure to visit taxbit.com to learn more. Now, let's jump into some interviews that I have coming up for you guys. Whit Gibbs, who's the CEO of Compass Mining, Natalia Karyaneva of Proppy. I'll be interviewing Credible Crypto, Brock Pierce, Greg Dickerson, Patrick Sells of NYDIG. So I'll be interviewing some folks from NYDIG, Randy Zuckerberg, Representative Patrick McHenry, potentially David Schwartz or Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple, and also Senator Pat Toomey. The latter, or the last three, I'm still confirming the dates, but the ones I mentioned before that are confirmed. So be sure you got that notification bell enabled, my friends. Now, if we take a look at the crypto market here, Bitcoin still over $38,000, still moving sideways, not much happening. And we could see, continued pullbacks as we've been talking about before Bitcoin retraces, and then we have an alt season. But at this point, we just have to be patient. Here's what some of the analysts are saying. BTC Fuel said the following: Bitcoin reclaimed the falling wedge after a fake out and is now looking for a bullish breakout. So we had the respective fake out. Now we have the bullish breakout, and we just got to be patient and let things run their cycles. In addition, the analyst said Ethereum looks parabolic against Bitcoin. It seems that there could be a huge extended alt season in 2022 in possibly two waves, and it could possibly extend to August/September/October. Will the flippening happen? So many of you who may not have heard this term before is essentially Ethereum flipping Bitcoin for the #1 spot. He said here, will the flippening happen? The flippening could be a sell/top signal. And he gave the respective resistance and Fibonacci targets here. He said, if it happens, I think it could be a short fake out to hit the 4.236 Fibonacci to dump directly afterwards. Could be peak euphoria for alts. So we'll be watching this closely as we head into alt season sometime this year. And I say sometime because I don't know exactly when that will happen, and neither does anyone else because we can't predict the future. But based on market cycles, we can certainly anticipate it's going to happen this year. So I'm certainly looking forward to alt season because I want to make some money. I want to take some nice profits on my alts. All right, MicroStrategy, they once again have bought the dip. So Michael Saylor tweeted out, MicroStrategy has purchased an additional 660 Bitcoins for approximately $25 million in cash at an average price of around $37,865 per Bitcoin. As of January 31st, 2022, we hodl approximately 125,051 Bitcoins acquired for $3.78 billion and an average price of $30,200 per Bitcoin. Now, yes, I think it was yesterday's video where I talked about dollar cost averaging. As you can see, sometimes you buy high, sometimes you buy low, and then you get that average price. So their average price that he bought in at was 30K. I bought Bitcoin lower than Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy guys and lower than Tesla. So definitely they are anticipating higher prices. That's obviously why they're buying now. And I'm sure they're looking for that six-figure price point and beyond. And this is a very big bet, huge bet. And I've said it many times, Saylor is the biggest Bitcoin bull ever. I hope everything works out well for him, because if it doesn't, oh my God, it would be a massive disaster financially for this company. But I'm optimistic that it will do well for him. I'm bullish on the Bitcoin and the crypto market, of course. Now, here is some very bullish news. Publicly traded companies to be able to auto-convert salaries into Bitcoin via NYDIG. The offering allows employees to choose what percentage of their after-tax pay they would like to convert to Bitcoin, which is held in cold storage by NYDIG. Big time news here, my friends. And once again, I'll be interviewing Patrick Sells from NYDIG soon. We've been talking about NYDIG building the on and off ramps for banks. If you guys recall, over 600 banks will be, and credit unions together will be working with NYDIG to offer Bitcoin trading services and so forth. So they're doing some big things. They've got a lot of money, a lot of power. They're a Wall Street firm. Ben Losky, heavily connected to Ben Losky. So that's just why I've been telling you guys, pay attention to this name. They're doing big things. So let me give you some details here. The Bitcoin-focused financial services firm has partnered with a number of companies that will, for the first time, give their employees the option to receive a percentage of their post-tax earnings in Bitcoin. More than 1/3 of workers between the ages of 18 and 29 express an interest in getting some of their salary in Bitcoin, according to a recent survey by the New York company. There is a sharp drop-off when it comes to older employees, with just 11% of workers over 60 saying they would consider doing so. 54% of Bitcoin holders overall want a portion of their salary in the digital asset, the survey found. Though not a novel concept, it is another example of a major crypto company allowing employers to pay their workers using cryptocurrency. Other companies offering this service include Coinbase, Bitwage, and BitPay, and payments processor Strike allows employees to convert paychecks to crypto themselves. Very, very huge news here, guys. I don't know if many of you realize how significant this is. And look at the demographic, the age, right? And this is why it's not so much what the boomers are saying, and all respect to boomers, right? My parents are boomers, but the future generations are going to be more interested in Bitcoin and digital assets and crypto, the digital asset class versus traditional assets like gold and so forth. So you really have to look at this market and what's happening macro level and understand the change, a generational shift that's taking place, and why these guys are so bullish. They're investing millions and billions into the market. And we've been covering a lot of mergers and acquisitions, expansions, investments, and so forth. It's a sign of what's to come. Everybody's trying to do a land grab right now because they know mass adoption is coming. Mass marketing has already started. And as we get clearer regulations, the floodgates are going to open up. Now, Patrick Sells, once again, who I'll be interviewing, he tweeted out the following: we're thrilled we're thrilled that former NFL superstar Drew Brees, companies Tillman Fertitta's Houston Rockets, and many other forward-thinking business owners are helping their employees get paid in Bitcoin, powered by NYDIG's new Bitcoin savings plan. So they're, once again, building a massive infrastructure element here or service, because it's going to help these companies to offer this respective perk, if you want to call it that. Folks can then put it into a Bitcoin savings plan, convert their paycheck to Bitcoin, so on and so forth. And of course, in my interview with Patrick, we're going to go through this in detail. Now, look at this. Russians own $200 billion in Bitcoin and crypto, says the government. We've been hearing a lot about crypto coming out of Russia, guys. And obviously, Putin recently, told the central bank and the finance ministry, come together, start working on crypto regulations. He said Russia had an advantage when it comes to Bitcoin mining. And that's because of what's going on in Siberia. They have cheap energy there. Some excess energy, and the cold weather really helps. So this is very bullish in my opinion. And, this is being reported by Bloomberg that a lot of people in Russia hold crypto. So I think the government's recognizing now, hey, we can't ban this. We can't stifle this. If these people own a lot of it, we're going to regulate it and tax it. Now, India, they are now bullish on crypto. They're regulating it and they're going to tax it. So you're going to have capital gains tax. And Raoul Pal, macro investor who I've interviewed on the channel, he tweeted the following regarding this. He said, big news in India from the budget where the government have unveiled taxes on virtual digital assets gains, showing regulatory acceptance. Final regulations in coming months, but as the fastest growing adoption, India is extremely important in the digital asset revolution. He says here, the digital rupee is also scheduled to roll out in 2022/23, which is surprisingly fast, but the Indian financial system is essentially highly digitized already. Not sure how it all fits in the UPI payment system yet. All good news. So the one country that was bipolar about crypto banning, unbanning for years, now they have fully capitulated. Now regulating it, taxing it. Of course, guys, we've been talking about this for years and years. How many times have we covered India? How many times have we talked about, doesn't matter what they're saying now, they will be forced to capitulate because this is the new economy. This is the new disruptive technology. You better get on board or you will have problems. Your economy is going to have problems. You're not going to have jobs, right? This is a big part of future jobs and how things are going to run. Now, Empower Oversight, which is a whistleblower organization. I actually interviewed the founder and president, Jason Foster, about a month ago, I believe it was, or a month and a half ago. And they're a nonprofit whistleblower organization, and they've been investigating the SEC with conflicts of interest with Jay Clayton and William Hinman in this whole Ethereum Free Pass SEC Ripple lawsuit. So they're doing some great work. Well, there's some updates here. They tweeted out, Empower Oversight filed a new request with the SEC seeking documents that would show how it searched for records related to alleged crypto conflicts of interest before claiming that no responsive records existed. So, the SEC is trying to come back and say, oh, we're not finding anything, oh, yada, yada. Specifically, this request aims to uncover exactly how diligently the SEC searched for records relating to Clayton, Hinman, and Berger communications. I bet they're trying to cover up those, right? Empower Oversight had previously requested that the SEC provide sworn affidavits to explain the specific step it had taken to search its systems for responsive documents. Thus far, the SEC failed to do so. Want to guess why they failed to do so, guys? It's so easy to just put together some affidavits. Hey, we ran through the respective checks and here's what we did. And here's an affidavit, a signed affidavit saying, hey, everything's good. Here you go. Here's what we did. But they're not doing that. See how shady this is? If you have nothing to hide, why not provide this stuff, right? Clearly, they have stuff to hide. We know it. We see it clear as day. We know of the conflicts of interest. Gary Gensler is trying to cover it up. Well, Jason also tweeted out, he weighed in, he said the following. The SEC claimed it found no records, but it did not describe its search methods. Of course. It's like we investigated ourselves and found ourselves of no wrongdoing. This clearly a cover-up, right? Following a call last week with the SEC, it became clear that the scope of its search was too narrow. So there's a new FOIA request, and FOIA means Freedom of Information Act, to uncover exactly what SEC did before claiming no records exist. I love this. And Jason says, and here are the portions of our administrative appeal where we ask for affidavits describing the SEC search methods, which it has not yet provided. Pathetic, not Jason, the SEC, pathetic. I've said it before, Gensler, Hinman, Jay Clayton, pathetic liars. And like I said in previous videos, I can't believe this is where my tax dollars are going to. Congress needs to act, because clearly the SEC has been compromised and they've been bought, they've been bribed. So I'm glad for organizations like this who are, doing the great work of keeping accountability, and they're coming from a nonprofit standpoint. And so if you would like to donate to them, please do. It's important because they are not only investigating this issue, they do a lot of accountability requests and lawsuits against the government where they see things are not going right. And the government is supposed to represent the people, so we need to keep them in check. The saying goes, people should not be afraid of their government should be afraid of the people. So this is one avenue or one way we can make sure we keep that balance of power and keep accountability. So great to see this is happening. More pressure on Gensler, more bad PR on Gensler. This is what we want to do. This is why I keep saying call, email, make videos, write blog posts, whatever you need to do. Now, speaking of writing, Dave Michaels of the Wall Street Journal, he's a reporter covering finance and white-collar crime for the Wall Street Journal, of course. He said, I wrote about the SEC's big legal fight with Ripple and its two execs over XRP. And the title of the article is Ripple's Legal Brawl with the SEC Could Help Settle when cryptocurrencies are securities, and SEC win would boost its case to regulate much of the crypto market, while loss could reinforce calls for clearer laws. So I can't read the article because Wall Street Journal wants me to pay $8 a month. I'm not paying $8 a month for this. They need to get it together and get like some coil or web monetization going where they're earning that way versus having people pay. But I digress. This is great, guys. More coverage, once again, more pressure, and more bad optics for the SEC, as we've been talking about. And make no mistake about it, a lot of big names and politicians and so forth are seeing this. So this is all good. And the more pressure there is, more likely the SEC will fold, and more likely members of Congress and other parts of the government will put pressure on the SEC to do the right thing and fix their problems. So all good news. Finally, want to end it here with a tweet from David Marcus, who previously worked at Meta or Facebook, and he was part of building Novi, or the DM stablecoin. And he had some interesting thoughts, and this is why I want to share them. He said, it becomes clear to me that Bitcoin will be the one asset and layer one still around in 20 plus years, with increased compounding relevance over time. The number 2 slot for a different use case is still to be determined. Ethereum is in the lead now, but Solana and others nipping at their heels. He also says here, Bitcoin is truly leaderless, censorship resistant, and has much greater network effects. In essence, it's unique and cannot be ever replicated. Its creation truly was the Big Bang event of crypto. I absolutely agree with him. I believe Bitcoin's here to stay. I've said it many times, and I'm bullish on it as store of value, as digital gold. Will there be other cryptos and digital assets still around? Of course. I believe, for example, Algorand is one, given the adoption, XRP. I think Ethereum will still be around. It just depends, like David said, could a Solana or Avalanche or Algorand or something take its place? We'll just have to wait and see. It's still very early. He's talking 20 plus years from now. That's a long time, guys. So we'll just have to see what happens. And I'm also aware that, look, first mover advantage is not always what helps you to win in the long run. It's certainly a big advantage, but if you don't iterate, if you don't innovate, if you don't make things better, you could become like Yahoo, right? Yahoo was the shit back in the day. It was big. It was getting a lot of traffic, but they didn't innovate. They didn't fix and make different iterations. Google comes along with a better algorithm and a cleaner interface, and boy, we know how that story ends. Same thing with MySpace and Friendster, and then Facebook came along. We know how that story ends. So, it's to be seen, and it's not because today you have a great technology. You have to keep innovating and adapting as things progress. So it's important that a lot of these different cryptos and projects do that. But I do believe Bitcoin, because it was the number one, it's not looking to be the fastest or the lowest cost fee transactions, but from a decentralization standpoint, from a store of value standpoint, because of the hard cap and just a $21 million max supply, and the adoption it's getting from institutions right now, I think it will be around, guys. But will it always be number one on the market cap list? I don't think so. I think some other crypto may surpass it, like maybe Ethereum. I don't know. It's too early to tell, but it will still be, I think, in the top 5, honestly. And that's just from how I see things progressing. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.